The Church of San Giuseppe was considered the church of the city's artisan guilds, and it is not surprising that the Paratico dei Tagliapietre di Brescia, the Guild of Stonecutters, also moved its headquarters here in 1716 and asked the Brescian painter Pietro Avogadro to paint an altarpiece dedicated to their patron saints, the Santi Quattro Coronati, now housed in the Diocesan Museum. The craftsmen specialized in the processing of marble and stone, carvers, polishers, and sculptors, were among the protagonists of the radical renewal of church structures and decorations that took place after the Council of Trent, also brought about by the tireless work of Carlo Borromeo. In particular, the earlier altars of San Giuseppe, made of wood that had become moth-eaten, or painted masonry that tended to crumble over time, were replaced with new ones, made of natural stone, a valuable material abundant both in the Brescia and in the neighboring Bergamo area. Stone was used for funeral monuments and tomb slabs, but also for the new altars, built between the 17th and 18th centuries. Many of them are linked to the 17th century Brescian altar tradition and are characterized by geometric marble inlays and frontals made of variegated stone, capable of displaying what could be defined as the artistic expression of nature, which exists precisely, according to the conception of the time, in the natural veining of the stone. Particularly interesting in this respect is the altar dedicated to St. Anthony of Padua and St. Anthony Abbot, with the altar table made by the Carra family, enriched on the front by female statues with graceful drapery and winged half-length figures resting on the volutes on the sides. An interesting frame encloses the frontal, with classical black stone tendrils emerging against the background carved and then gilded. This motif was very popular and is portrayed with minor variations in the pattern books for embroiderers, tailors, carpenters, and carvers. Above the table, the candlestick stand was completed a few years later. The height, which is unequaled in the city, allows the Corbarelli family to create a kind of stone painting, as it is called, despite the fact that there is nothing painted on it. These artists of Florentine origin are credited with being the first to bring to Brescia the complex technique of the Florentine commesso, which is particularly effective for creating decorations aiming at reproducing reality. The stand features a beautiful frieze of leaves and flowers, among which are birds, butterflies, and fruit, enriched with symbolic meaning. The mother-of-pearl lily alludes to purity. The butterfly symbolizes the resurrection of Christ. In the center, above the tabernacle, is a very original structure, probably a display case. The space is divided into 3 niches and was painted directly on stone by the Bolognese painter Domenico Carretti, attribution made by Professor Fiorella Frisoni. The custom of painting on stone, often slate or touchstone, was very common, as were also copper or other supports. The figures related to the Annunciation were surmounted by a yellow drape made of marble from Torri del Benaco, which, according to Professor Renata Massa, revealed the representation of the Holy Spirit, now lost. This type of work was inspired by the fabrics used during festivities to create ephemeral spaces and apparatuses which were crystallized and made to last in stone by Baroque art. All around we can appreciate the imposing architectural structure of the altarpiece, with its curved lines and interrupted ledges, in keeping with the taste of the time and based on the extremely skillful use of marble, extensively researched and masterly illustrated by Professor Massa in her numerous publications, to which we refer for more in-depth information.